help me out here. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain.
Carrie received a lot of backlash for her bold decision to perform at Donald Trump's inauguration. Unafraid to express their rage, The View presenters took advantage of the occasion to openly criticize her and openly question her motivations without thinking about the consequences. Alyssa Farah Griffin, co-host of Whoopi and Joy, defended Carrie Underwood, saying she could see why the singer accepted the invitation because it was advantageous from a commercial perspective because Trump had the backing of most Americans. According to her, destroying the lives of people because they hold political views that are different from their own is no longer acceptable.
Star Carrie Underwood has spent most of her career avoiding political talk, but she's set to perform at the upcoming inauguration. She said in a statement that she's doing it because the country must come together in the spirit of unity and look to the future. And lots of her fans aren't thrilled about it, but lots of her fans are. So let's put this in perspective here. What do y'all think?
I personally hope we're moving beyond the era of politics where we want to cancel people's livelihoods because we don't like their politics. And whether it was the Dixie Chicks for criticizing George Bush, didn't agree with it then, and Carrie Underwood, if you have a problem, you register your complaint by not downloading your songs.
Carrie Underwood's decision to sing at Donald Trump's second and final inauguration ceremony at the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. on January 20, 2025, was publicly questioned by Joy Behar, anchor of The View, during the panel discussion on January 14. I love our country, but how can you love it and continue to support and normalize someone who has a criminal record and truly wants to destroy it? Joy remarked. How you normalize this convicted criminal while professing love for your country beyond me.
I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't do it, even though I can't
sing.
No, I would not. I would not normalize him. And she says, I love our country. How do you love your country and support and normalize somebody who was a convicted felon who really wants to destroy the country, in my opinion? I don't understand how you say you love your country at the same time as you normalize this convicted felon, which I can say now every day.
A lot of my family voted for Trump. They love the country and vote for him. I think that people make these decisions for a lot of reasons.
Okay, fine. And I would not be the person to say don't do it, because I believe in free speech and everything about it. I personally would not do it. No one's asked me, but that's another story.
I would love for you to do a roast at the Trump inauguration.
Okay.
In order to avoid telling her not to, Carrie pleaded with her to do it. The 82-year-old said she had no problem as long as the country was and remained free, despite the fact that her co-hosts appeared to disagree with her remarks. Her statement drew a lot of scathing internet criticism. Sunny Hostin, another presenter, concurred with Behar but asserted that since art is art, performers need to be allowed to perform anywhere. Desire, as art is art.
We've had people like Reba McEntire come on
Yes.
and say that, she doesn't want to talk about politics. She just wants to sing, she wants to perform, she wants to make people feel good. And I respect that. And then we've had people like Dolly Parton, and I think you asked her,
Are you a feminist?
Are you a feminist? And she said,
I don't think so.
I don't think so. But then you pushed her and she said, yeah, I guess I am.
Well, I said to her, do you believe that women should make the same amount of money as men? Well, I guess I am a feminist.
Yeah, and she said, I guess I am a feminist. So I think people feel pretty strongly about it. I think art is art, and you have a right to perform where you want to perform. I agree with you, Joy. I can't sing a lick, but I certainly, and I have not been asked, but if I were asked, it would be a...
Whoopi Goldberg, a long-standing Trump opponent and co-host, appeared to support Carrie Underwood in the meanwhile. I get up behind her. I had to help her because, like me, I think they have the same right to decide whether or not to perform anywhere. However, I have little interest in watching. That's me, she said, but I won't be watching. After a year of criticizing the president-elect, Goldberg also likened Underwood's choice to the meeting between Donald Trump and Morning Joe co-hosts Micah Brzezinski and Joe Scarborough. Noted, she said.
Listen, it's like, people do what they do for whatever reasons. It's like Joe and Mika.
Yeah.
They did what they did. They felt that's what they needed to do, and I got to stand behind them.
Yeah.
You know, and I stand behind her no, not or not, because if I believe I have the right to make up my mind to go perform someplace, they have the same right.
Of course.
And so
That's
I have
true.
to, I have to support. Doesn't mean I'm particularly interested in what I won't be watching, you know. But
Carrie Underwood will perform at Trump's swearing-in ceremony, a committee announced publicly the day after the presidential inaugural. Her statements were equally conflicting. The singer of Inside Your Heaven told reporters that her love for the nation supported her decision and that he was honored to be selected to perform at the inauguration and to have a little role in this momentous occasion. I am honored to answer the call at a time when we must all unite in the spirit of unity and looking to the future, the Grammy winner said. At Donald Trump's inauguration, Carrie Underwood will sing America the Beautiful, a popular ballad by Ray Charles from 1972, right before he takes the oath of office. The 41-year-old performer will also be performing at a political gathering for the first time. She has avoided assuming political roles over the years. However, she and her co-host, another country music artist Brad Paisley, subtly mocked Donald Trump at the 2017 CMA Awards by substituting the fake lines before he tweets for the lyrics of her song Before He Cheats. The statement might have been directed to Trump's then daily popular remarks on the social media platform. Because Carrie chose to play at Donald Trump's inauguration, she will forever be associated with one of the most contentious eras in American history. Her performance served as a cry to togetherness as well as a patriotic gesture in a country split along political and ideological lines. The situation quickly heated up. While some social media users praised her bravery for putting the greater good ahead of politics, others accused her of endorsing a dangerous political figure. Presenters on other platforms began to voice their opinions, but none of them were as open and critical as the panelists on The View. Many even questioned her patriotism, arguing that her performance was more about normalizing opposing politics than it was about patriotism. When country music artist Carrie Underwood agreed to sing at President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration celebration, former The View anchor Elizabeth Hasselbeck referred to her as un-American. For the most part, Hasselbeck did not use common sense to bring people together around their debate table in his responses to Behar's remarks and The View. Even Whoopi Goldberg couldn't agree with Joy Behar's ludicrous comments when they were made public, Hasselbeck said Hannity Tuesday night. Hasselbeck criticized Behar's accusations against the singer, calling them absurd and pointing out Underwood's pro-American past. The historic inauguration of the President of the United States of America will feature a performance of America the Beautiful. In addition to her All-American Girl album and tour, Carrie Underwood, the American Idol winner by American votes, has actually spent more time on USO tours, serving, assisting, and contributing to our country's finest veterans, our troops, and their families. This is what she wants us to believe.
I'm missing out. I'm just thankful to be here with you. This is safe territory, Sean. Although I would have loved to have been at that table today. They have refused to put anyone there who has a lick of sense on most days. But today, when those comments got passed around, even Whoopi Goldberg could not agree with the outlandish remark of Joy Behar. I mean, Joy Behar wants us to, in the name of, by the way, liberal tolerance at its best, right? This is what we're seeing. She wants us to believe that Carrie Underwood, who won American Idol by American votes, who had an album and tour called All American Girl, who actually has spent more time on USO tours serving and helping and donating money to our nation's finest, our military, their families, and our veterans, is about to perform America the Beautiful at the historic event of the inauguration of the President of the United States of America, and that she's un-American for doing so. It's so ridiculous.
By linking her name to Underwood, the former co-host claimed that Behar's remarks were only a self-serving public relations ploy. She wants to add her name to Carrie Underwood's name in order to stay relevant since, as Hasselbeck stated, they are aware that the ship is sinking. This is a dysmorphic lie that Behar must cease telling. We're going to do it tonight. Since we recognize that calling someone un-American for expressing their American rights is more un-American, we're truly being truth-bearers, Hasselbeck stated. Is every individual present on the day of the inauguration, from the housekeepers to the security personnel, un-American? Hasselbeck continued by disputing Behar's assertions. Was that Joy's statement? Additionally, Hasselbeck refuted earlier assertions that Behar promotes strong, independent women. That is untrue. She ought to stand by Carrie Underwood. Hasselbeck went on to say, and really, Carrie is a great woman, adding that Behar could learn a lot from the singer by hanging out with people who don't always share her ideals. The former co-host said that if Joy had her level of power, she could learn.
I know Joy, and I've actually known Carrie as long as I've known Joy. I'm friends with one and been colleagues with another. You can take the guess, your audience. But I'll say this. What Joy is up to is nothing more than selfish personal publicity gain right now. She wants to attach her name to Carrie Underwood's name so that she maintains relevance because they know the ship is sinking. Number one. Number two, though, even considering that, we cannot let a dysmorphic lie sit out there in the air. It has to be extinguished. And that's what we're doing tonight. We're actually being truth bearers because what we know to be true is that it's actually more un-American to call someone un-American for exercising their American rights. Is every person that shows up on Inauguration Day, from security to custodial staff, un-American? Is that what Joy's saying? If you show up there to do your job, and by the way, she is a woman who says she's for women and strong working women. That's a lie. She should be supporting Carrie Underwood, and actually Carrie's a great woman. She could learn a lot from her because Carrie surrounds herself with people who don't always agree with her politically or posture themselves precisely how she does, be it faith or anything.
By the way, she is a woman, and her inauguration was historic. Hasselbeck encouraged everyone who could. It's a historic moment. If you have the opportunity as an American to be a part of or close to something this great, I think you should, she said. Carrie Underwood quickly addressed the remarks made by the View host. She made the decision that she would not allow these women to change the initial intent behind her behavior. Numerous artists could have evaded such public censure, but Carrie's action stunned everybody. She sued the presenters of The View for defamation. She took the charges against her reputation very seriously, as evidenced by her dramatic gesture. Holding The View hosts responsible for their broadcast was the goal of the litigation. Claims that the statements were false, harmful, and defamatory. Her motivations for making this decision and how it might impact her future career are currently being investigated by critics. Was she merely drawing additional attention, or was it a genuine attempt to repair her reputation? This brings up the question of how free the media should be to look into the actions and lifestyles of the general populace, including famous persons. However, Carrie Underwood makes a very clear point. However, sticking to your convictions isn't. The message from Carrie Underwood is very obvious. It takes more than just your words to stand up for what you believe. It takes more than just your words to stand up for what you believe. It also calls for what you do when such beliefs are called into question.